Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northeast, ending with Team 2 in the Southwest. Starting off with the Stitch Blue player on Team 1, it is Zio going first land as a Cyber, and he is a 1908 rating. To his west is Battlefront going first land as a Seraphim. He is in Royal Blue, and he is a 2051, the highest ranked player on Team 1. And to the northwest in Amethyst Purple is another Seraphim player of Alexander Berlin going first land as another Seraphim. He is 1451 rating in Amethyst Purple. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Seraphim and 1 Cybern, which means they do not have access to UEF or Aeon technology. Starting off with Team 2's easternmost player in Orange to Color Orange, we have Findeed going first line as an Aeon. He is a 1588 rating. To his west in Chevy Crimson, we have Ikigami going first line as a UEF. He is a 2083 rated, the highest ranked player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And last but not least, there for Team 2 in Ruby Red, we have Eva Magi going first land. He is an Aeon at 1645 rated in Ruby Red. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have what Team 1 lack in technology. They have 2 Aeon and 1 UEF. That means Team 2 does not have access to Seraphim or Cybern technology. Let's take a look at the reclaim here before our players scoop it all up. We have currently on the map 19,000 reclaim for 6 players, which means it's just a little bit over 3,000 mass per player to scoop up. A ton of mass, a lot of it being in this upper plateau area of the map. At least I think that's an upper plateau. Yeah, it's an upper plateau. And a decent amount of it on the second ring as well, as you could probably call it. Let's take a look at the mass point layouts here for both teams. Taking a look at Team 2 side of the map, we have a Trimex position here in the west for the player of Ever to go after. We also have a Trimex position up here on... Actually, no, it's down there. Excuse me. Looks like it's up there, but it's not. And then we have a 5-star Mechs here, a 5-star Mechs here, and a 5-star Mechs position here. So 3 5-star Mechs is very, very important that both teams grab this side of that, because that is a lot of mass to get, especially really, really early on. And we can see that in the east, outbound from Zio, we have a little bit of a force outbound with a nice little Hunter and Mole to try to deny early expansion here outbound from Team 2's Finn, to essentially just give Team 1 a little bit more time to build up their defenses and their units, because Team 2's player of Finn will be able to out-eco Team 1 Zio very, very quickly if he gets all of the mexes, which maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know exactly what the plan is with distribution of mexes in this side of the map, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Findeed gain everything. It's going to be probably very similar here in the north versus Alexander Berlin, as we can see with his comm doing exactly what Team 2's engineers are doing and going out and getting all of those mexes online. We haven't seen a lot of movement outbound from either of the teams' comms. We do see distance build that was just completed by Ikigami, and now we see Battlefront doing the exact same thing. And this is a lower plateau position. Actually, you can still get to it. It's not even a plateau. You can still get to it from the eastern side. But there isn't any avenue from the west, so Zio is going to be probably primarily responsible for trying to claim this position if it does get under attack. Same thing here in the west here for Team 2's Eva Magi. We do see engineers dropped up here in the upper plateau. I think it's about the same plane level as the rest of the map, but it's easier to say upper plateau because it is essentially isolated from the lower section of the map. We do see those hunters running around at dealing death and destruction to those engineers going for mexes. We can see that a nice little radar has been established. We'll give a little bit of intel for Findeed, but these hunters have done a lot of damage so far. This one in particular getting 2 kills, actually, excuse me, 3 kills, and killing off 183 mass. We do see a flare outbound here from Team 2's Findeed to counter this. We do see some more reinforcements outbound from Zio to reinforce his scouting and harassment position. We do see a huge drop outbound here from Team 2's Eva Magi, essentially to do very similar things that Team 1 Zio is doing, except he's putting a little bit more effort into claiming this position and using the T1 facilities as a shield to build up more PD to defend against the comm. Alexander Berlin going to be just super happy with just going after the land facilities themselves. But he's just going to sit there, of course, and get some nice little veterancy while he sits there and hangs out and shoots his plasma cannon. We do see 2 comms moving to the east to intercept the comm and units outbound from Zio. This is a huge land effort here on the eastern side of the map. There is a little bit of water, but I don't know if that will really play a role in this game. Maybe we'll see a comm hide in the water. That will probably be it. These sides of the map are pretty much inconsequential for the most part, at least for the time being. I don't think they're going to play a role, but I mean, you never know. Somebody could build up some cruisers and call it a day, which Battlefront can do, and EVA cannot unless they get some UEF tech. I'm talking about the cruise missile cruiser capability. But we do see, of course, more and more units here from Alexander Berlin trying to assault this position. Engineers trying to just build T1 facility after T1 facility after T1 facility. We do see some artillery in the mist here for Alexander Berlin. Going to deny those T1 PD and get a couple of engineers in the mist, which means this position will fall very, very quickly. Nice bomb outbound from that bomber over here, taking out the radar and all of the remaining engineers, which means this investment here from Team 2's Magi is going to be severely curtailed, if not completely destroyed here in a minute or so. But with the 2 comms here on the eastern side here for Team 2, it's really forced back Team 1's units. You can see them kind of huddling, I should say, around the beach side of the, not the beach side, but the shoreline. And T1 facilities being denied here by Ikigami's comm personally. Going to go after the engineer, going to deny that one as well. Would have liked to probably see him go after the radar, but that's perfectly fine right now. He's more focused on forcing the comeback. And another comm outbound from Battlefront coming in to intercept and assist Team 1 on this eastern side of the map. It's going to be a 2v2 scenario here for Team 1 and Team 2, and it's a 1v1 currently with the fighting occurring on Team 1's side of the map. And the most important thing about that is Team 2's side of the map is perfectly fine. They can eco/upgrade, not really have to worry about a whole lot of, threats in terms of I invest all this mass and energy into upgrading this, these mexes, and then they get destroyed. They're perfectly fine. These ones were the ones under threat here for Team 2 for the time being, but it looks like Vendita has dealt with the last of those raiders for the time being, and with some assistance with Ikigami, Team 2 is going to hold this position. I'd say pretty fine. There are, of course, 2 comms, so the comm of Vendita needs to come back and not just build T1 mexes, but of course, he's just going to sit there and deal with that. Team 2's Ikigami, of course, is the highest rated player in the game, so high value target here for Team 1, as well as the highest rated player on Team 1 of Battlefront is on the front line as well. So the high value targets, the HVTs for the game, are right next to one another, and we might see some comm on comm action between the 2 of them. We saw a little bit of that here in the northwest here between between Alexander Berlin and Eva Maggie. It looks like Eva with his comm has been able to force back Team 1's Alexander Berlin. He's going to go for a gun upgrade, and that might actually cement Team 1's positioning here, just due to the fact that that gun comm is going to be able to force back Magi very, very quickly here. Of course, a bunch of engineers hurriedly building some PD for defensive measures on that western side. There's no incursions. And then in the middle of the map, it's just been constant back and forth there between Battlefront and Ikigami. This has been most of where they're, not most of where, but where most of, there we go, proper English, of all their mass is going, at least in terms of unit production, is to this upper plateau. Looks like it might start favoring Team 2 just ever so slightly. There are some PD online that definitely tip the scales in defensive measures. But now with the comm on the front line here for Team 2's Ikigami and now Findeed, it might see some pushback. And there's a lot of Team 1 units here. A couple of flares, Aurora, so very weaker units. But it does look like Ikigami is going to retreat a little bit. I don't know where he's going, but he could be really useful in pushing back Team 1. That gun upgrade does finish. Going to go for stealth next. And Alexander Berlin's comm has finished their upgrade as well. So Team 1 has 2 gun comms, and Eva Magi is in the red. Sub 2,500 hit points. Don't know why he took so much damage. Maybe due to some gun comm, maybe due to some T1 Zooey. I don't know what the case may be, but he is suffering. If he gets in the range of Alexander Berlin's commander, he's dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Alexander Berlin's going to probably just walk him down. Oh, maybe. He could easily just walk him down right now. 2100 hit point. Oh, there it is. The comm is moving southward. Ikigami not Ikigami, she's Eva Magi moving westward to try to get out of range. But I think the fight for Team 1 is going to be over for the most part. Team 2 has to retreat. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And we might see the first casualty here pretty shortly. 1,800 hit points remaining. Team 2 is pretty much just going to stockpile. Both Team 1 is just going to go for upgrades. Team 2 is going to go for upgrades. Just going to hang out, eco up. A lot of the fighting, of course, in the middle of the plateau. Bombers constantly raiding. Interceptors trying to deal with that. And Team 2's Eva Magi might make it out of dodge. If he gets into the water, he'll be perfectly fine. But he needs to get there out sooner rather than later. Bomber over top. Doesn't drop the bomb. And now sitting at 18, almost 1,900 hit points. Does have 1-star veterancy, so a little bit boosting hit points and regen, but not by much. Nano repair is now done here for the Cyberman commander of Zio. And now Zio is going to push Team 2 on this eastern side. Team 2 needs to counter this just due to the fact that they really don't have much. We are seeing Ikigami going for that gun upgrade, but it's going to take a lot of effort here for Team 2 to deal with this. And the main thing they have to deal with is the comm. The units are fine. It's just the comm because he's a little bit tanky with the unit the health regen and all of that. And it looks like for the most part, Team 2 has outnumbered Team 1 on this upper plateau. Lots of units that have been killed off here. Death and destruction all around here for both teams. We do see a counterattack occurring in the west here from Team 1's Alexander Berlin. Bombers over top going to assist with dealing with those fervors. And it looks like those Zui on the water are able to take out the rest of those fervors sitting on the upper plateau. And Team 2 do not have anything over here. Eva Magi needs to put more units on the front line to deal with this. I don't know why there's nothing here. T1 PD going to be established here pretty shortly, but they're all fervors. They need to get some Aurora, something else. Even flares would be better just to deal with this incoming threat. The PD does finish. The wall sections have been established. The engineers are almost done with those wall sections. But once those Zui come into range, that PD isn't going to even matter, and even the Zui going to go all the way around and do a nice little hook maneuver. That's going to matter. Not going to matter as well. Looks like T2 Mechs have been targeted by those bombers in the southwest. And attack on the front line here for Team 2 has started, trying to go after Zio's position. Does have one tickle cannon, and again, the tickle cannon in this situation is pretty useful due to the fact that Team 2 has essentially very, very weak units, just due to the fact that they're Aurora and they're T1, so that's kind of how it goes. But Zio, I mean, at 90 hit points a second regen with these 2-star veterancy now on board, we'll be able to hold off this push relatively easily. Even if Team 2 just shoves it forward, their Aurora, they take 2 shots to destroy, and that's it. You can see Zio just going to shoot. Yep, and that one's gone, and that one's gone, and that one's gone. So it's very, very quickly to be able to deal with all of those units from Team 2. And now T2 on the way here for Fendid. He's taking some shots to the face, so he's going to have to sit there and recharge. And I saw... Is he overcharging? No, that's not what... that Zuri was killed. It looked like... maybe it looked like the comm was standing right here and was able to stick his head out. It looked like he was able to shoot from in the water, but that's just because his head stuck out of the water. Very interesting. There's a little sandbar there. Be able to put his feet on something to stick his head outside the water. Lots and lots of fervors here for Team 2's Fendid. I feel like 36 is, I mean, it's a lot. I don't think they're really that useful in this scenario, especially with the comm just constantly on the move. If the comm wasn't moving, they could probably just 2 or 3 tap them, just a couple sets of volleys and call it a day. But that comm of Zio is going to move, unfortunately. And now just the incoming threat here from Team 1's Alexander Berlin, now that he doesn't have to contend with Team 2 over here. Just shoving Zui forward. Team 2 doesn't have anything online to deal with this. And the base here for Team 2's Eva Magi is just going to be devastated. We do see some blazes online here from Fendid as well, so that will definitely assist with this. And some gunships. You know, something is better than nothing at this point. T2 is now online as evidenced by the gunship. Team 1 has T2 as well in terms of the air. T3 land is online and going for bricks, just skipping loyalists and going straight for bricks. And the Nakama Vikigami has actually gone up here and has decided to shove Team 1 off of this plateau. T2PD has been established as well to defend that position. Ikigami gonna just kind of hold off for a second while he can overcharge. Takes out a ton of engineers as well in that blast. We do see Ikigami, of course, does have gun and is at 2-star veterancy, almost at 3. And we'll get to 3 at the minimum just due to the fact that the mass cost for all of those PDs. And Zio's continuing to push on this eastern side. Transport outbound here in the east with a nice little brick laden. And Team 2 now has to deal with this threat of a brick, being able to take out all these mechs very, very, very quickly. We do see Team 1 at 230 something mass, 250 mass income. Team 2 at 220. The number's only going to go down as time goes on due to that brick down there. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win the game. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course share this video with your friends, family, and pets. I'm so very grateful for all the time and attention you give to the channel, even if it's for a minute, 10 minutes of video, 10 videos, all my videos. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. And now Zio being a little bit forced back here by all these fervors, but like I said earlier, the Calm would have to stop moving. The Calm would have to let them hit him for, I don't know, 2 or 3 volleys at the minimum when it was 36. Now it's about a dozen or so. We do see those Stingers now over here to the east. There's no assistance here in the air from Team 1. There's nothing, no AA as well. Zio might just be killed off by Stingers. It is going to take a minute for those Stingers to chew through. There is some Interceptors on station coming nearby, and those Interceptors might be able to deal with them in time. There's one Interceptor online here for Ikigami to defend with. It looks like those gunships have actually now diverted due to the fact that they get spotted, going to go after Mexes. They feel like they're not going to be able to kill off the Calm in time. Take out the radar. Yep, the radar got taken out. Zio did fall about 50% of his hit points. Could have been very, very dangerous. Had those been broadswords, he would have easily killed the combo of Zaya. But Ikigami now hot dropping in front of the bricks to assist his teammate. Where is that overcharge going? I don't know where that overcharge was going. He takes out the first brick and will be able to take out the second brick. But 5, 10 mexes, 12 mexes were killed off here. Some from T2, most of them were T1, so it's not a huge loss, but it still makes a difference. Team 1's now 100 mass more than income than Team 2. And missile over the top going after a T2 mechs here for Team 2's Eva Magi. Team 2 is just suffering in this game, but they do have the middle of the map. So while Team 1, you know, it's essentially is quarantining Team 2 off in the western side, and Team 1 has a slight advantage on the eastern side. This position going to start looking very dangerous for Team 1 to deal with. Large land mass, decent amount of mexes. I say decent. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, better than nothing. It's better than nothing. It does look like transports have dropped off more units this time. It's T2 Ilshis. The transport will get shot down before it makes it back to base. And most transports in this game are definitely one of those that you just kind of throw and they're going to die anyways. Ikigami has his own personal transport. He's just going to throw it like 3 feet forward so his comm can move in and intercept a lot easier. Get some nice veterancy for himself. 4-star now on board that commander. Deal with those Ilshis very, very quickly. Hot dropping your commander can be dangerous, but he's been doing very good with that, taking out the bricks, helping assist with the Ilshis. Team 2's Fendi definitely had that under control, just would have lost a couple of other units. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see him drop. Where could he drop? Well, us knowing everything on the map, probably shouldn't drop there in front of the comm. Maybe could drop. Dropping down here would be too dangerous because it's too close to Team 1's main base territory. ASF's online here for Team 2. We could see an early bomber outbound here from Team 2's Ikigami. And that missile launcher, wherever it is, has done some serious damage here to Team 2, at least some of their eco. Where is it? Oh, they're upgrading the command. Oh, no, it's not even a missile launcher. It's the comm. The comm has a missile launcher upgrade and is launching missiles. He's killed off 5,000 mass. It's kind of hard to tell how much mass the missiles killed off itself just due to the fact that it's on board the commander, and that's mass killed in general. But it looks like he's targeting all of the Team 1 facilities, but they're being reclaimed at the current moment. He's just killing off mass, which isn't the worst idea, but I feel like it isn't the best. Could be going after something else. I know Team 2 has more TMD online, but you know, it could be going after radar, could be going after T2 Mechs, could be going after, like I said, literally anything else. And yeah, the facilities are done and dusted, but the thing is that Team 2 could easily just build more of them. They have a T3 engineer here, so not really a huge I don't understand the huge focus on the facilities. It's not like Team 1's going to launch a counterattack at any moment. We do see a drop outbound here from Team 2 for Ikigami, a decent amount of those Lobos. Actually, they're all Lobos. Probably would have preferred maybe a couple of those Strikers as well to kind of deal with some Thams. And now we see a bunch of Thams. I thought they were Zoo, but they're not. That would have been very fun watching artillery fired artillery. But I do love the split in units here from Team 2's Ikigami going after different positions. The artillery can take out structures very, very quickly. We see the T2 Mechs is just in a couple of volleys already at almost 50% of its hit points. But bombers over the top deal with a couple of them. Do get one T2 Mechs. I don't know if they'll get the other one, unfortunately, here for Team 2. And it does look like a couple of Lobos are being left alone for the time being. A transport with a... What is that? That's not an Otham, is it? I don't think so. Battlefront. Looks like it's an Ilshi outbound to deal with those units down there. Transport will get shot down again. Team 1 is not going to be able to get a nice little return on investment for that bomber. Oh, sorry, that transport. But we'll be able to deny at least a little bit of those engineers and stuff. I do love this transport just running around with engineers. Going to drop him right here. Going to be killed off. Unfortunately, the Ilshi responded to that very, very quickly. Fortunately, the engineers are not going to be saved. And Team 2 looks like they've been able to at least fix their issues that they were having on the western side. And in the east, still, Team 1 holding this position. Zio not letting it go. Has some trebuchets online, being able to shell Team 2 Fendit's position. We see, of course, this column. Zio just kind of sitting there with his nano on board. The position should be fine for the time being here for Fendit, but he needs to really deal with that artillery. He's sending some blazes forward to try to deal with them. But unfortunately, there is a brick and the comm nearby. Artillery raining in will actually destroy some of the mass from that trebuchet, but not really going to do the damage that he probably thinks it's going to do. Or it doesn't want it to do, I should say. And it's kind of slowed down a little bit. I'm going to speed this game up just a little bit because action's kind of slowed down. We do see a broadsword going after a couple of defenses here, going after a T2 Mechs. Gets to get shot down by some AA in the area. Definitely not worth the investment in that regard. Looks like it was going after some TMD. Maybe we could see some tactical missile launchers online going after defenses over and infrastructure over here. Team 1 Zaya building a monkey. And I don't see anything else in terms of experimental coming online for Team 1. Team 2, air grid back here going for T3 air. Voltu gunship being ripped to shreds by some flak. That doesn't last very long. Second air grid, also that's the main player. Third air grid coming online here for Team 2. Everybody on Team 2 going for air, which is an interesting play. Team 1, I mean, again, they sectioned off this side of the map. Team 1's pressured a little bit on this side of the map, but even they haven't really pushed for land as well. Of course, they're going for a Monkey Lord, so that is definitely a little bit of a focus on land. But besides that, Team 2, they are going for air. Team 1 does have 2 T3 air facilities online. They are starting to think about expand their air influence. Team 2 has definitely been in charge of the air for a decent while, ever since Ikigami got to T3 air. ASF's running some cover for that one broadsword. Broadsword getting a decent amount of value out of it, going after those Mechs. And that broadsword going to be taken out as well. Going to go for the T2 Mechs now. A couple of mobile flak online in the area as well. Engineers hurriedly building up some more flak to deal with said gunship. But broadsword doesn't even stay to kill the Mechs. Definitely not what he should have done. Bricks do land on this upper plateau here for Team 1. I'm going to slow it down back again. They're going to go after the Mechs. here for Ikigami. But Ikigami does have a gunship online. Those bricks will get some value out of them, of course. It will be killed off eventually. Another mech's killed off by that missile launching commander of Alexander Berlin. He's almost at 5-star FNC. Now we have that broadsword returning to the middle of the map to assist his teammate in the air of dealing with said brick. And again, broadsword does a decent amount of damage. Definitely the best one in terms of air to ground, but you know, does need a couple more to really chew through those harsh hit point tallies of those bricks. And again, oh, I lost my train of thought there. It is not the goal of Team 1 to essentially take over the territory at the current moment. It's more of just raiding. They took out 3 mexes, obviously assisting the missile launcher over there. It's mainly just annoying, soaking up APM, giving Team 1 a little bit more time in their main bases to build up more AA, as they do see an emphasis on Team 2 going for gunships. I'm kind of surprised that no one's going to go for Nuke or any sort of kind of standoffish plays. They're kind of building up. Of course, this is a ladder match. It takes a little bit longer to get up running. Because, yeah, there's one player with a decent amount of mexes, but we have still at 25 minutes, more than half the players still at the 100, 150 income stage. So it does take a while to get everything going because you have to produce more units because you're more focused on defense because it's only 3 players and not 5 or 6, and it's really hard to divvy up tasks and all that sort of thing. Large line of Ilshis actually moving in from the east. Didn't know they can actually go through this, but they can. Definitely something that Team 2 will have to just block up. But all these Ilshis going to go after mexes. So far haven't killed any of them off, and it's just kind of been the trail of tears at this point, just running straight into enemy fire. One more Ilshi remains. Maybe they'll get that mex. I don't know. The PD right here is able to deal with most of the threats. And then, of course, the broadswords run over and just deal with that themselves. In the west, we see hover versus hover. This is the Navy we've been looking for. Not really, but, you know, they're on the water, so it's something better than nothing. We see, of course, some flak. We see some blazes. We see some Aurora. All the hover units we expect to see from an Aeon player. And, of course, Zooey outbound here from Team 1's Alexander Berlin. He's going to go into the Navy. He's going to build a naval facility here. Maybe he'll go for T2. He's going to build T3 on board his comm as well to give him some a little bit more hit points and engineering prowess. Monkey Lord has reached the beach and goes back into the water for some nice soak. A lot of PD online and more T1 PD back here. Lots of Team 1 PD. They have a UEF player of Ikigami. I'm kind of surprised not to see some Ravagers online. Looks like the monkey might try to just skate by the PD over here on the eastern side, but more Oblivion's going to be built back here as well. So Team 2 going full turtle over here on this eastern side. More PD back here, more PD and mexes and whatnot. Kind of surprised there's not even seeing more PD right here. We do see some gunships coming online here for Team 2 as well. And the comm is going to move with 2 monkeys. And this might be enough to crack Team 2's position. PD is, of course, being established. They'll rotate and target that monkey lord in the east. Gunships already on station. Got to rip apart the hit points of said Oblivion PD. The monkey pushing forward, but the comm is taking a severe shot to the face. At least a lot of them is at less than 10,000 hit points. Harbingers move forward to try to deter the monkey lord. Going after the PD. Monkey Lord over here to the east being bombarded, going after T2 mexes. And gunships being called for to deal with Monkey Lord back here. Going to target the one back here first, prevent the destruction of these mexes down here. And that Monkey Lord is going to start losing hit points very, very quickly. ASFs have been called to respond here from Team 1, but they just don't really number that well. And Team 2 isn't even responding to that. They just don't even care. It looks like they're waiting for the other shooter drop. Looks like Restore is also online. This will be enough to kill the first Monkey Lord. Restore is going to be the AA that Team 2 needs to deal with the ASF. One gunship does get taken out, and the Monkey Lord's still alive. There it goes. I was going to say, I don't know why they waited so long to kill it. We do see a couple of units make it through the breach here in the northeast. I don't know if that was a transport or not. Looks like it probably was. They're coming in from the back. Nice little pincer maneuver going on here for Team 2's Findy. Going to target that Harbinger and take it out. Not target that Harbinger, target the brick, take it out. But Team 2 kills Zio here at 30 minutes on the clock. First casualty of the game. Actually, 29 minutes, not 30 minutes. And that second Monkey Lord will be taken out as well. So Team 2 nets a decent amount of mass on their side of the map. They lose, of course, 5 T2 Mechs, but they gain 2 monkeys worth of mass plus a dead comm. I think this game is over already, says Zio. I don't think so. I mean, Battlefront gains control of everything that Zio has. That it jumpstarts his eco. He's up to 500 now. Team 1 at 700. Team 2 at 850. So now Team 2 is in the lead for mass generation for the time being. And Team 1, they could just go for artillery. They're going to go for a crab right now. Chickens on the west here for Alexander Berlin. Huge amount of spam out here from Team 1's Alexander Berlin on the water. Going to go for some more. I think those are frigates. I would love to see him go cruisers, but I don't think he's going to do that in this game. You see a lot of bricks just kind of just receiving unnecessary fire from the heavens or the atmosphere. And Team 2 just able to grab a ton of mass from Team 1. It's going to, I mean, I don't know what to put it into. They're going to put it into a Colossus, but I would kind of like to see a FAF board coming out from Ikigami. He's going for a massive air grid and a bunch of engineering. Maybe he'll go for a nuke or something. That'd be very interesting to do. At 30 minutes, you got to figure out how to end the game, not necessarily how to survive in it. Another Monkey Lord is online here for Team 1 once again. Teleporter online here for Team 2's Ikigami. Where is he going with that? Especially considering he has RAS on board. Very interesting to see that kind of focus on the teleporter with a RAS. I don't know, maybe he's using the RAS to fund the teleporter. But now a ton of units are outbound here from Alexander Berlin to attack the front line of Team 2's Eva. And a lot of flak in these units as well. A couple of Team 1 as well to deal with the flying over units. Restores over here to the east, targeting the Ilshis. Probably should target the flak, the units that shoot at you first and shoot at everything else. I know you don't want to attack the ground units that are inbound, but you got to take out the units that can shoot at you first. We do see those broadswords targeting the flak first. Love to see that focus. We also see some flak down here as well. Tons of units and actually a ton of shots actually being blocked by the little cliff edge here. And some of those actually just being the AA. This position here for Eva will be eviscerated. Lots and lots of Zooey in here being able to deal with all of those PD very, very effectively. Team 1 PD can't, of course, get in range of artillery if it stays out of range. We have some Oblivion PD on the shoreline being able to target at least some of those units moving around the edge here. And Team 2 will defend against this push, but this firebase has been annihilated. Some of it does remain, but for the most part, there's realistically nothing left. And Team 2 is looking a little bit scary with all those gunships, both the Restore Ball and the Broadsword Ball. We saw the Monkey Lord in the east. See these two right here. Looks like it's in the water. The Colossus pushing forward on the eastern side here for Findeen. And the Monkey Lord might pop out of the water. Looks like he will. We'll try to get in behind the Colossus, but there's a crab online. So gets out of the water just in time to sandwich that Colossus. Colossus will focus fire on the Monkey Lord. The Monkey Lord is paying attention. He'll actually pop back in the water to try to save it. But the Monkey Lord, oh, it might not even have to worry about it. That Colossus will be killed off, and Team 2's push will be, well, stopped for the time being. And Team 1 has gained another position here in the lower plateau section, trying to artillery shell this position. It looks like it's just going to be fire-basing wars between the both teams over there. And Alexander Berlin has been stopped for the time being, but that's not going to stop him. He looks like he's going to just reclaim that naval base and going to go for a chicken, build it underneath the water and deliver it that way. Broadsword over here going after T2 Mechs. Killed off 5 of them so far. Going after all of those Team 1 AA that have been trying to be spammed up. More flak being brought forth to try to deal with things. The gunship does get shot down, but it doesn't matter. Just the devastation of the eco here from Team 2 is devastating. Lots of T2 Mechs here for Alexander Berlin, just going up in smoke. Oh, there they go. 5 more, so we have 10 of them, 11 of them killed off here so far. More ASFs called on station to deal with this threat. Another broadsword's taken out. Tons of ASF online here for Team 2. and they're going to continue to push in. Looks like AA is going to be spammed up, going for T3. T3 is nice, but in this engagement, probably T2 would be better just to deal with the flat because they like to hover. But the AA is able to target those broadswords. Of course, the ASF's trying to run some shielding operations. Might get a PD. Might get a PGen. Doesn't get it in time before the destruction of those ASFs, but still, Team 1's Alexander Berlin has been knocked down a peg or two with the eco. Team 2 at 1.2k income. Team 1 at 839. And that crab is pushing forward. The monkey behind it. Monkey just going to rep up hit points. PD, I mean, you can build PD as much as you want. That crab is just going to outrange it. And there it goes, being just one shot there. Starting, the teleporter still is coming online here for Ikigami. I still don't know what he's going to do with it. I'm definitely interested in seeing what he's doing with it. I have seen some UEF commanders that will teleport to a lake or ocean or whatever, then dismantle the teleporter, build the missile launcher, build the Billy Nuke, and then shoot the Billy Nuke. I have seen that before. I don't know if this is the game for that, but it could be. I mean, the only place you could probably drop is right here, and then fire into the main base here for what once belonged to Zio, or go all the way back here. But Team 2, I don't know if they know where the comms are. They don't know where either of the comms are, so going for an assassination zone on the cards. But a nuke has been launched here from Team 1, outbound from Battlefront, and it's a Seraphim one. It's going to be very pretty. And where is it going? It's going for the western side. Team 2 does not have any SMD online. And actually, no, excuse me, they do have an SMD, and it is not loaded. SMD over here is not loaded, but it's not going for the air grid. And if it did go for the air grid, it actually probably would have been shot. It would have been close. And the SMD will not be loaded in time. And there goes the base here for Magi. Magi's just suffering this game. And kaboom! Nice little pretty nuke. Oh, I heard a strap bomber. Where is it? I heard it. Where is it? I heard the strap bomber. Where is it? I heard the whistle of the strap bomber. It sounds like a mortar from like World War I, World War II. Like the way they whistle up in the air. I heard it. I don't know where it went. It must have got shot down, but I definitely heard it. Crab and monkey using the water as coverage. We do see some of those eggs being built. Being able to deploy units onto the battlefield very easily. If building a bouncer for some AA coverage. Love to see it. No one hardly ever uses that feature, so it's very nice to see those. That's one land invade. That's one way to land invade. Essentially, Colossus in the distance. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. The egg. There we go. Seeding the beachhead. Another crab coming online here for Team 1. Team 1's investing a ton. Oh, there's the strap bombers right here. Ton of mass into these experimentals on this eastern side with a lot of AA coverage, so they have both firepower on the ground and against the air, especially considering Team 2 has a ton of investment in that. Tactical missile is being built. Oh, that's right. You don't have to dismantle the missile launcher. That's right. It's the middle upgrade. For some reason, I thought the teleporter was the middle upgrade for the UVF, but it's the right arm? The one on the right. The one on the right. Restore is being used at poking at Team 1's engineering reclaiming efforts. And Eva control case ejecting. Oh, that's terrible. You hate to see it. Looks like Team 2 loses their first player due to a lag/connection issue. Definitely annoying here for Team 2, but again, it does happen. Very not disheartening, but I don't count those as kills. I do not count those as kills because they're not kills. They're just stuff outside of the game happened that caused them to leave the game essentially. So do not count that as a kill. It is a 2v2 game, but now Team 2's Ikigami, the highest rated player on Team 2 and the game overall, scoops up all of the mass that Team 2 had. Luckily for Team 1, Eva Magi had a lot of his mass blown up, so it doesn't give a huge amount. But the bombers actually going in the back, going after those bouncers, get a nice distribution order and killing off all of those bouncers. Team 1 will now be forced to retreat due to the fact that now they have a squadron of strap bombers over top. And that does not look pretty. They're going to target the crab first. Probably should have targeted the monkey because it's the easier of the two kill, or the easier of the three to go after. They would have probably killed the megalith, not megalith, the crab. The monkey, jeez. Cannot talk. ASF's over here dealing with the ASFs here from Team 1's. Alexander Berlin, Strap Bombers coming in once again, going after that crab. It is the higher of the two in terms of mass values, but I feel like going after the monkey would have been worth it to just kill that off and be done with it. Team 2 now has that tactical nuke coming online here pretty shortly. Maybe he will teleport and shoot a missile off. I feel like that's what's going to happen. If Team 1 is paying attention, which I don't know if you'll be able to pay attention to a comm upgrading or which one they're going for. It could be, that's the middle upgrade. Could be going for a bunch of other upgrades. These are the ones that they could be going for off the top of my head. Shield. They could go for the drones. There's a little bit more options other than, they're probably just going for tactical nuke. It's not cut and dry. And those 3 experimentals do live to fight another day, but there are 3 Colossi online, and they're moving northward. Team 1, besides those Colossus, don't really have defenses in terms of mobile units. Another crab is coming online, and how's the nuke going as well? It's almost loaded to its 2nd nuclear missile, so they even have artillery, so Team 2 having to fight on multiple different fronts. They're attacking the air grid here for Ikigami, going for a Fat Boy as well. I don't know about this. Team 2 needs to fight. Needs to fight in multiple different fields of war versus SMB, nuke, all of that. But Team 1 is just pushing and pushing and pushing for standoff tactics. 40 minutes on the clock, and Team 2 needs to get their butts in gear on how they end the game, not just survive in it. And we do see that chicken over here to the east about to crest the surface of the water and make its presence known. Of course, the air grid is the main target. T3 shields are trying to be built up to protect against that artillery fire. Will finish it. Ikigami almost takes a shot to the face, but just barely off to the right. And those Colossus here are just in defensive mode for the time being. Chicken has emerged from, the depths of the water. And now Team 1's moving in for some more T2 spam, some Yenzine as well. ASF's going to move in and deal with the ASFs outbound here from Team 1. There are a couple of lightning tanks, so they're able to, of course, target the strap bombers in the lake overhead. And all those ASFs are killed off. Colossus did finish, luckily here for Team 2, so that Colossus will be able to help deal with that chicken. But that chicken will be able to kill off the Colossus, most likely with its Ion Storm. And not all the strap bombers are killed off, but some of them were at a minimum. Another nuke is outbound here from Team 1's Battlefront, going after this position here for Findeed. Looks like Findeed's having some shield or some energy problems. He's going to build his own emissary as well. Tactical nuke still coming online here for Team 2. I just don't know if he has the power reserves. Oh, no, he does. He does have the power reserves. Findeed just struggled for a minute. No, he's fine. Nuke will land. Kaboom! Takes out 5 mexes. Takes a chunk out of Team 2's eco. Team 1 has caught up significantly in that eco generation game. 1.2k versus 1.3. And with both an artillery piece and a nuke online, Team 1 definitely looking like the most likely to win at this stage. Team 2, of course, have SMB covering their bases. They have multiple of them, actually. So they're able to cover one another. And the air grid is still online here for Team 2, but it's just, I feel like Team 1 is definitely a little bit, not necessarily more spread out, but they have a lot of AA coverage. You can see Battlefront has 28 of the Myrmidons and 27 of the Seraphim variety, and then Alexander Berlin has another 27. So essentially 75 or so AA emplacements all around Team 1's facilities. It makes going with gunships in air very not worth it. Though they've been playing the turtle play for the time being, and it's worked out so far. And the shield's not really strong. Oh, there goes Finn. You got to move. That pigeon's going to blow up and kill you. It's not going to go well. Oh, it's going to land right on top of that emissary. Take out a decent amount of those engineers as well. Findy does have a shield on board, so he's able to protect a little bit more of shots inbound. Another artillery piece shot inbound. Where'd it go? Maybe it hit the shielding? Maybe. takes out some mass fabs, and almost takes out a Mechs at 20 hit points remaining. Oh, there goes the emissary. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Findy's gonna start his second one, and takes out the P-gens, and that's gonna force Findy to move. Get some nice volatile explosions going on. Takes another chunk out of Findy's hit points. He's in the yellow. 2 artillery pieces now landing here from Team 1. Is that just 2 shots? No. That's 2 artillery pieces. Team 2 needs to find a way to beat this. Ikigami does have teleporter online. Does have the tactical miss. Actually, it's not done yet. Thought it was done, but it's not done. And it's just, I feel like Team 2, if they invested a little bit more in the end game scenario, they probably would have won, but they allowed Team 1 to build up, hunker down, thwart off Team 2's advances. And Team 2, again, were just constantly more reacting to Team 1 than anything else. The bombing raids, the gunship raids were definitely very, very useful here for Team 2 to get ahead a little bit. But don't know if it's going to make it that they're going to win. They didn't invest, again, like I said, in anything that would have won the game or survived the game. And in Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance Forever, you gotta win the game, not just survive it. It's not like you're playing against the AI and you're just trying to survive for as long as possible. You can see the artillery just constantly shelling the air grid. Once Team 2 loses the air grid, I think that's game, because that's really their biggest investment. They're building a Duke, however, so they're trying to get in the artillery game as well. But with all the mass and energy that already was spent on that first emissary, don't know if they'll get a lot of work done. We do see land starting to play a little bit of a role once again here for Findeed, going after defenses over here for Alexander Berlin. Could open a door for Team 2 to exploit, but isn't going to matter. The air grid has been taken out. The T3 air headquarters is still online, but the majority of that grid is down. More shields are being built all around Team 2's infrastructure, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Not worth it, but it's going to make the difference. Chicken Online going to deal with the rest of these Harbingers and Strat Bombers as well. Clear the threat out. 45 minutes on the clock. Artillery now targeting the SMDs outbound here from Team 2. There's one over here to the west. Looks like that one was actually recently taken out. I think there was one over here somewhere. Strat Bombers launching their shells somewhere. And there is a Galactic Colossus to the west here for Ikigami. There's a Rambo preset, so, some attack power online here for Team 2. Running around the map. And Harbingers reclaiming. You won't really see this a lot, but it is really useful if you need mass and you have Harbingers to just reclaim on the field. Artillery still pummeling this position here for Team 2. SMD still online. The secondary one over here is actually the main one. So, the shields are starting to fall. More and more of them are being built, though. Oh, it's got to hurt. Another shield emitter is down. Duke is now online here for Ikigami. He's able to fight back in the artillery war game, but don't know if it's going to make it, not make it worth it, but make a difference. 5 Colossi are online. This one ignoring the crab. Just going to go straight forward. That one is going to die realistically quickly, but 5 Colossi is a lot to deal with. Nuke is outbound here from Team 1 once again. And where is it going? It's going for this position. SMD is not loaded, unfortunately, and the artillery piece will be knocked out. Essentially, this is Team 2's last-ditch effort to try to gain some ground. The Colossus is going to turn around and go after the crab. Actually, no, it's just going to retreat. First Colossus is down. I don't understand this play. Outbound from Team 2's Findeed. Nuke will land. Kaboom! Takes out the Duke. Takes out the Quantum Gateway. And how is the comm doing? Well, the comm, it does have the tactical Billy Nuke loaded. I don't know where he's going with it. It has a lot of drones around him. Like I said, I don't know what he's going to do with it. Or maybe I'll just slow the match down a little bit. There we go. And Colossi now focusing on the crab. Second Colossus will die here. That's 2 Colossus for 1 crab. Team 1 will take that trade any day of the week. I will take that trade any day of the week. And once the last SMD falls here for Team 2, that will be game. If Team 1 has a nuke loaded, SMD over here is not going to protect a whole lot. Strat Bombers Launching over here. I heard an explosion. That is probably the Rambo preset. Got all the way back here, so it did a decent amount of distraction efforts. Now we have 2 Colossi over here to the west. Again, we have 2 experimentals here for Team 1 for defensive measures. Both underneath shield coverage, and 1 Colossus is almost dead, so that Colossus is not going to do anything. Looks like there was even another one, and that one was killed off. I don't know if Team 2 just doesn't want to fully commit or not, but I don't know what the situation is. Colossus being bombarded by harms. By Battlefront, these are going to dissuade those Colossus severely. There goes that one. And 2 more remain. Drop Bomber is going to go after targets. Probably going after the nuke, but it doesn't matter. The AA is too oppressive and kills off all of those bombers. It would have been better to just go straight in. Would have had actually a lot less AA to deal with. And now a secondary nuke is also lined for Team 1. Ikigami control K, seeing that the game is over. And Findeed also control Ks as well. That is the game here for Team 1. They win the game. And a Billy Nuke does launch. You can see it's Billy Nuke about to launch, unfortunately. He was hoping that the strap bombers would come in, take out a decent amount of the shielding or all of it, and then the Billy Nuke would come in and finish off the job. But just couldn't make that materialize, and therefore Team 2 lost. I feel like Team 2 played, I don't know, like I said earlier in the cast, a little bit more reactionary. They should have been making a little bit more moves, especially when they had a ton more mass than Team 1. Going for nuke, going for artillery, going for something, because they probably could have won had they built something a lot sooner. But, you know, you live and you learn, and sometimes you have good matches and sometimes you don't. But just how the game goes. Team 1 did have a couple of SMDs online, just with some missiles loaded just to protect against any possible nuclear incursions. But let me know down in the comments who you think was MVP. MVP for me was probably, I probably want to go with Alexander Berlin, just because he was able to constantly just annoy Team 2 on this western side. Just constantly, a lot of attention was devoted to this. Team 2, I mean, was able to fight back over here in the east after a while, after the death of Zio. But I don't know if it was enough. I feel like Alexander Berlin did a great job of just forcing the issue. He did have an incursion early on. He fought that back, and he just constantly pressured Team 2. And that didn't lead to the control K of Magi. That was a different thing, but it might look that way. But it, obviously, you watched the match, so it didn't. But again, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the match. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. And I will see all of you in the next one.